The output section of Ultrabeat is located on the right-hand side of the Ultrabeat window in the middle. Depending on the states of the signal flow selectors, the outputs of all 4 sound engines are routed through the output section, either directly or via the filter section. Signal flow through the output section is preset to follow the order of both EQs into the pan modulation, then into the stereo spread, and finally output volume and trigger behavior. The equalizers are turned on and off by clicking on the label bars. Red indicates that the band is active. Each EQ offers 2 different modes, a peak mode and a shelving mode. Band 1 features a low shelf, while band 2 features a high shelf. Each band of EQ also contains a boost or cut control, a frequency selector control, and a filter cue to adjust the amount, location, and width of the filter being applied. Each of these parameters can also be adjusted in the graphical filter representation in the center of the section. Selecting the peak of a filter band lets you control the frequency and cue, while selecting the edge of an EQ curve gives you control over the frequency and boost or cut amounts. The pan modulation and stereo spread section allow you to modulate or make adjustments to the stereo placement of your signal source as set in the assignment section. They are turned on by clicking in the label bar of either mode. Note, only one of the 2 modes is available at any given time. Pan modulation mode allows you to move the stereo placement of the source using corresponding mod and via menus. The red line indicates the original placement of the signal, while the sliders dictate the range of your modulations. Stereo spread simulates a signal being panned in both directions, effectively widening the stereo field. Controls are set to control high and low frequencies separately, with the stereo field growing wider as the controller approaches 100%. The voice volume rotary knob controls the output volume of the combined efforts of all of Ultrabeat's sections post envelope 4. This level control precedes the output volume slider in the mixer so that an individual sound's level can be adjusted independently of the relative levels of the entire mix. The trigger, group, and gate options all have an effect on how MIDI notes are handled by Ultrabeat. The gate option forces a note to cut off immediately following a MIDI off event, disabling the decay time set in envelope 4. Single trigger mode forces a note to cut off if that same MIDI note is played again. By assigning multiple channels to the same group in this section, you can dictate that varying MIDI notes played can trigger this style of note cutoff. Multi-mode allows played notes to play in full accordance to the amplitude envelope 4, ignoring any note-off events or repeatedly played notes.